everybody. This brief video is about two very important things, money and cell phones, okay? Always get a lot of questions about that. Now, if you are a seasoned world traveler, you're already used to traveling with your cell phone and you understand how to get cashed up while traveling, you don't need to sit through this, but I do want to mention one very important thing before you head off. You need to make sure that you have WhatsApp loaded onto your cell phone. And the reason for that, that is our official means of communicating internally while we are together on this trip. And I'll say more about that later, but hey, you guys go ahead if you already got the phone and the money thing down. But some people don't travel a lot. And those are some very good, legitimate questions. And I want to take just a few minutes here and make sure that you have the right information. There's Wi-Fi in the hotels in Paris and Amsterdam, just like there are here. And so I'm not only asking you to take your cell phone, I'm begging you to take it and make sure that it's a smartphone. And the reason that I say that, first of all, it's just downright practical. It's going to save you a whole lot of room and weight in your packing because your cell phone becomes your Bible, your maps, your travel guides, books to read, your alarm clock, your camera, your currency converter, your note taker. Don't leave home without it. Now, some people are proud of the fact that they don't have a smartphone, and that's great. All power to you. But I'm telling you, on this trip, it's very important for you to have a smartphone. Beg, borrow, or steal one for the trip, okay? Secondly, and this is very important, it's secure. You need a smartphone for personal security. And not just in case something bad happens. Yeah, it would be important then too. But what if you were to get separated from the group and you suddenly find out that you're lost? This will save you a lot of grief. All you've got to do is text or call one of us, and we'll get you back on track very quickly. And also, this little thing that I talked about, this application called WhatsApp, you need to load that on your cell phone, and you need to learn how to use it just a little bit before you leave. And when the time comes, I'll be collecting all of our phone numbers, and we'll be setting up our own little texting group on WhatsApp. And so most of you know how to text, and this is just another way to text within this application, and we can form our own little group. And the reason that we use this instead of just regular texting, some people don't have unlimited texting. This gives you a way around that. There are people many times going with us from other countries and traveling around the world a lot. I find that WhatsApp is one of the most universally used applications for these purposes. Besides that, on a daily basis, I'm going to be feeding out information to you about our daily schedule, what we're going to be doing and when, the free time that you'll have. I'll be giving you some discussion questions when you sit down to eat with someone, some things to kind of keep your eye on, look for this, look for that. And so it becomes a very practical tool. And you can also use WhatsApp to do video calls back home, to send videos, to send pictures, to send attachments. Yeah, you can do all that right from your cell phone, and as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi, it's not going to cost you a penny. The only catch is the person on the other end has to have the same application on their smartphone. It's kind of like FaceTime. It's a great application, but you've got to have an iPhone in order to do that. Now, just a few important questions I want to walk through with you. When you get your cell phone, or if you already have one, you need to find out whether or not it will work in Europe. Not all do. And the only one that can answer that question is your particular cell phone carrier. Usually their web page can do that, or you might just want to call them. And at the same time, when you're checking on that, check to find out about the international data packages that are available. Even though your cell phone may work in Europe, you may not be able to text, and you may not be able to use it for anything else unless you're connected to Wi-Fi at the hotel or a hotspot. So check with your company how much data, for how much does it cost, and you don't need a lot if you're very judicious in how you use it, and ask them if that includes texting. Now, I can't answer that question for you. My personal preference for the last year or so, I've been using T-Mobile One. I love it because it's one price all the time for unlimited data, unlimited texting, anywhere in the world that I go. It's fabulous. I get off the plane, I turn my cell phone on. It says, "Hi Jeff, welcome to France. You've got unlimited texting and data, so go right ahead." I don't have to think about it. I don't have to switch anything. I don't have to turn anything on or off. I get off the phone. It's just like I was in home, and so I highly recommend it. But hey, your carrier may do something better. I don't know. You'll have to check it out. And also ask them about using your phone in Europe. If you were going to need to call someone, for example, you need to find out A, how much is that going to cost, and B, different carriers have different protocols. You may have to dial a little plus symbol before you dial the number, for example. Some carriers make you do that. Other carriers are like, nah, just do it like normal. We take care of all of that. You need to find out how your carrier does that. Now, I'll be giving you some hints about other useful applications as we go through these training videos, but that's pretty much it for today. Get your smartphone, get WhatsApp loaded, find out about your data packages and texting and all that. You're good to go. Now, what about money? How do I pay for stuff? Great question. Credit cards are just about as universal in Western Europe as they are here. The only reason that I say just about is because there are some holdout restaurants, especially the smaller restaurants that you go to, that would prefer to deal in cash rather than credit cards. And so all your souvenir stores, for the most part, are going to do cards. Many restaurants, but not all. And to be honest with you, when I go out to eat, I pay for my food in cash almost all the time. And the reason for that is because we go out to eat together. And so and they don't do the separate checks nearly like they do here in the United States. So it's just easier when the bill comes. If you got 5 people, you split it by 5. You got 6 people, you split it by 6. Everybody throws the cash in and you're good. All right. Now, let me just give you a little word of wisdom here. Get a Visa or a MasterCard rather than Amex, American Express, or Discover. Visa and MasterCard they're accepted everywhere all the time. Amex, Discover, not so much. Just want to warn you about that. And the reason for that is they charge the merchants more. So you're going to be good with Visa or MasterCard. Now, be aware of something else. Europe is on a slightly different system. You know all the big noise here when we went to the chip and sign a couple of years ago. Well, the rest of the world has been even beyond that for like the last decade. We are so far behind in credit card technology, it is ridiculous. Okay, they do the chip and pin system. Now you say, "Oh, Jeff, I've got a pin for my credit card." Nope, not talking about that. It's a different system. I know you've got a pin for your credit card. Congratulations. But what I mean by that, in Europe, you stick your card in the reader just like here with the little chip, and there you don't have to sign. You just simply enter a pin. The clerk at the store or the waiter will then turn the little machine over to you. You enter your PIN in, but the PIN that you have, it's a different system. It won't work. So they're going to have to realize that you have an American card. They will run it a slightly different way, and then you're going to have to sign it just like you would here. Most places are equipped to do that, but just be aware that there are some places, especially kiosks like in the train stations and whatnot, that will not take American credit cards because it is a different system. So you're going to want to learn how to get cash when you need it. Now you're going to be in the Eurozone. Both countries, France and the Netherlands, use euros as their currency. So that makes it kind of convenient. You don't have to spend them all in France before we go to the Netherlands because they're going to work just fine in both countries. Now, you've got a couple of basic options. You can exchange cash at an exchange bureau, like at the airport, or you'll see some exchange bureaus in both cities. That's okay. I want to warn you, it's not easy to find an exchange bureau. They're not very convenient. And I also want to let you know that the exchange rate that you get at those exchange bureaus is probably not going to be as good as what you would get at an ATM machine using a credit card or a debit card. Now, let me give you a tip, okay? You can use a credit card to get money from an ATM machine in Europe. You're going to pay an out-of-network fee, typically a couple of bucks. You're going to pay a percentage to have a cash withdrawal, same way in the States, right? Sometimes they will tack on to that percentage another fee because it's a foreign transaction fee. And because it's a credit card, and sometimes you don't realize this, they start charging you interest from the moment that you take that money out of the machine. It's not like anything that you put on your credit card that if you pay your bill down each month, there's no interest involved. So just be aware of that. That's why I use a debit card when I go to the ATM machine in other countries. My particular bank does not charge foreign transaction fees. Now, only your bank can tell you whether they do or not. Mine does not. So the only thing that I pay is that couple of bucks for out-of-network ATM machine. No big deal. And because it's a debit card, I don't have to worry about paying interest. It just comes directly out of my account. I'm good to go. I put it in the machine. I enter my PIN number, and I tell I want to withdraw from savings or checking, just like you would here, and it's highly convenient. What I do, I'll draw out a couple of €100 at a time, and that'll last me several days to pay for food or incidentals around. And then when I get low on euros, make another visit to the ATM machine, I'm good to go. And that way, I don't have to carry around a whole wad of cash announcing that I am an American tourist. Go ahead and pickpocket me or take advantage of me in some other way. So those are just some friendly tips and advice on using your phone and getting money when we're in Europe. And as always, if I can answer any question about either one of those issues, don't hesitate to let me know. And if I don't have the answer, I think I'll be able to point you in the right direction. Okay, see you in our next training video. Bye-bye.